Chair would entertain a motion to by minute action to excuse the absence of Councilman Bates.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Hopkins, second by Councilman Cathy. Any abstention or nay votes? All voting aye.
Aye.
Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, motion passed.
And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks. I now declare the public hearing open for the consideration of the vacation of a portion of public right-of-way. Mr. City Attorney, do you have any exhibits?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we have two exhibits for this one. Exhibit number 1, correspondence from Liz Becker to J. Carter Napier dated September 16th, 2020. And exhibit number 2, affidavit of publication, is published in the Casper Star Tribune dated September 10th, 2020, and that's all.
Okay, thank you. Mr. City Manager.
Mr. Mayor, I'm actually going to punt back to the attorney here, if you will, but just briefly put, we're trying to clean up some legacy land and easement issues in order to facilitate the transaction, if you will, of Wyoming Medical Center. And so if I could defer a little more to our attorney, that'd be great.
Okay, Mr. City Attorney.
Mayor and members of council, thank you for the time today. Hopefully this is fairly easy. It was not easy to put together. This involved 30 to 40 attorneys across the country, myself, Eric Nelson, the county attorney, Tim Stubbson, who's in the audience, just to clear up some title issues and encroachments and some other things that had sort of been left out in the processes of getting things built. What we did is we needed to find a way to get fair compensation for the city for encroachments on our land by a private entity. Before it was a government entity, so it wasn't nearly as big of a problem. And that's what we did. We negotiated appraisals and fair market value costs for what the encroachments would be at a fair market value that was acceptable and reasonable to all of the other attorneys, and put agreements together to allow the title to be cleared. And then these documents, along with, I believe, hundreds of others, will have to be recorded in order to clear title in order for closing to happen tomorrow. And that's what this is about.
Okay. Council will now listen to public comment. Hearing comments are limited to 5 minutes and no duplication of speakers will be allowed. At this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in favor of the issues involving the vacation, please approach the lectern.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Tim Stubbson with Crowley Fleck, and as Wallace mentioned, I've been representing the county on a number of the issues that have arisen as a part of this transaction, and I really just wanted to I can answer any questions, of course, but wanted to take a minute and thank the council for its responsiveness, but especially the city attorney's office, the city engineer's office, the city planning office. There are a host of issues that are not before you, and they're not before you because we were able to work through them, and your staff has been incredibly helpful through that process, because there's, as Wallace mentioned, there's a number of attorneys, a number of pieces that need to fall into place, and a tight time frame to do it. So again, just wanted to extend the county's thanks for the city's helpfulness and responsiveness in getting this done, and it likely closing will occur tomorrow, and the transaction should be finalized tomorrow. So, but with that, I can answer any questions on either the vacation issue or the encroachments that are before the council this afternoon.
Okay, any questions from any members of the council on the vacation? Mr. Stubbson. Okay, thanks, sir. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of the issues involving the vacation? Okay, at this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in opposition to the issues involved in the vacation, please approach the lectern. All right, there being no others to speak for or against the issues involving the vacation, I now declare the public hearing closed. Please read the ordinance by title only.
An ordinance approving the vacation of a portion of public right-of-way located between Lot 17, Natrona Heights re-subdivision, and Lot 4 of White's addition.
Chair would entertain a motion to approve on first reading the ordinance just read.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Hopkins,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor Lutz. Discussion? Okay. Okay, Councilman Powell.
Obviously, this is the right thing for us to do, but I think this is a good time to remind anyone watching, the general public, that it is a violation of state law for any municipality to give property to a private entity. And so we are following that statute now by going through these negotiations and arranging fair compensation. And so sometimes people misunderstand that and think the city can just kind of give money to people if they choose to. That is a violation of state statute unless it is for the necessary support of the poor. And that has been pointed out to us by our attorneys repeatedly. So I just think it's good for people to understand that that's a rule we have to follow.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, just for clarity of record, it's Article 16, Section 6 of the Wyoming Constitution.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? Any amendments? Any abstention or nay votes? All voting aye.
Aye.
Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, motion passed.
Okay, I now declare the public hearing open for the consideration of the termination of license agreements and entering into various encroachment agreements with Natrona County. Mr. City Attorney, do you have any exhibits?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have two. Exhibit number 1, correspondence from Wallace Trimbath to the City of Casper City Council and J. Carter Napier dated September 17th, 2020. And exhibit number 2, affidavit of publication is published in the Casper Star Tribune dated September 24th, 2020, and that's all.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, or Mr. City Manager?
Nothing additional, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Council now listen to public comment. Public hearing comments are limited to 5 minutes and no duplication of speakers will be allowed. At this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in favor of the encroachments, please approach the lectern. Okay, and at this time, I'd ask those individuals who wish to speak in opposition to the encroachments, please approach the lectern. There being no one to speak for or against the encroachments, I now declare the public hearing closed. Chair would entertain a motion to, by resolution, authorize the termination of license agreements and entering into various encroachment agreements.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Bates. Second. Second by Councilman Cathy. Any discussion? Any amendments? Any abstention or nay votes? All voting aye.
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 Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, motion passed.
Okay, next meeting of the City Council will be a regular council meeting to be held at 6 p.m. Tuesday, October 6th, 2020 in the council chambers, and a work session to be held at 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, October 13th, 2020 in the council chambers. Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Cathy, second by Vice Mayor Lutz. All, any abstention or nay votes? All voting aye.
Aye.
And please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, motion passed.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I think you set a record.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.